In 2 seconds.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to our not so weekly game of Pirate Borg. And we are bumbling around the Bermuda, or not Bermuda, but what's that whole
Bahamas.
the Bahamas? Thank you. The other one that starts with B. If you don't know who we are, we're Alexandria RPG. We're a non-profit role-playing game library that does all kinds of crazy things with role-playing game books. Whether we're playing with our friends, or we're going out and gaming with veterans or teens, or we go to events.
Let's see. Can I
Hang on.
see? Yeah, I can see us all.
Oh,
It
okay.
says we're live.
Well, fine. We're just gonna keep on going. I'm just getting a signal thing going. Hey, you're not live, but everything says
Let's
I'm
just
live.
pretend.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says we're live.
Okay.
We're both
So
live and dead.
yes. And if you've played Pirate
You.
Borg before, that makes a lot more sense than it should. This is Pirate Borg, and we are going to continue our adventures in the Bahamas with one man as a toilet and two other people that are probably not so good as pirates because we're both cultists and prior
Evangelical
sailors.
Satanists.
Yes.
Yes.
We're
Hmm.
take it away.
After being shipwrecked on Conception Island, which is a real island in the Bahamas, by the way, as are all of these
Heyo.
islands. The crew set about basically gathering supplies, exploring the island. There wasn't much to explore. Kind of tending to the wounded, if you will, and then being attacked by we'll call them crabstrosities, so that Stephen King doesn't sue me. And they were attacked by some of those, fought them off,
Rock
found out that
lobster.
they had an aversion to light, and so that helped quite a bit. There was some discussion about where to go next. One of the members of the crew, I believe Mr. Evil, is in a possession of a map, which the captain once had in his possession. And it was determined that that map actually coincided with the Isle of Yuma, or at least that's the rumor, right? Um, Captain, not Captain, the lieutenant, whose name I have already forgotten,
Can we go
um,
to Neil?
has
Yeah.
decided that she and some of the other survivors will instead make for Rum Cay, which apparently has, or at least until recently had, a small settlement. Um, Basically a pirate port of sorts. And there she's hoping to find an active raft that was constructed on the island. A sail has been affixed to the dinghy, and you've got basically 12 miles or so of open ocean to cross to get to Yuma. And so we basically start the scene, if you will, with the crew splitting up, the lieutenant waving farewell, wishing you guys all good, and begin the voyage to the Isle of Yuma, where hopefully you will find this fabled treasure that the late. With that, did I leave anything out? We've also made backup characters, or at least people should have made backup characters. And I'm
Last session.
yes.
And my revival was not entirely complete, so he's now haunted soul.
Oh, right.
We'll figure out
Right,
what
right.
kind when. Yet.
At least
That
not
we know
yet.
One day
No,
we'll all be skeletons.
I was going to say we all have skeletons living inside us, so I
Yep.
guess technically he is. Yeah, so there we go. Setting out on this raft. And so you're all sailors of experience, some more so than others, but you all know your way around a ship or a boat. And yeah, you
Weather
know
table.
what? Yeah, I had a nice one it was for another
It's
game.
2d6 at the front of the book. If you do you want.
Oh
wanna
yeah,
roll it?
okay. See, this is why I'm so glad you're here. Yeah, why don't you go ahead and roll it? Let's see what the
It-
weather's like right now. Where's that table? Front cover?
It is very front page.
Okay.
I'm not going to look anywhere that the players can't look.
I'm gonna bring it up because Oh, front end papers. Foul weather. Yeah, there we. Well,
It's the Dark Caribbean. There's nothing but foul weather.
yeah, fair. Creatures.
Yep.
Not to mention a lot of washed up corpses, and then just the general, kind of rot. So it's about the best you could hope for. I think as far as this list goes, it is the best. This and maybe number 9.
Oh, and more weather, page 78 looks like.
Oh, cool.
That's
Okay.
where we just were with the ship rules.
Okay, 78. Is it in that random table area?
I mean, every page is tables.
Well, there's one. There's a section
Changing winds,
specifically
foul
called
weather,
That's where we just
and it's
Random
different foul
generators.
weather table.
So to see if we
Oh.
were live.
Oh.
And
Oh,
advertisement
this is
jumped
cool.
up.
I love these tables.
Oh, it's the first duplicate table I've seen in this book.
Yeah,
the
it
foul
literally
weather table,
is,
yeah.
isn't this, guys? Okay, so we've rigged a sail. Ooh, flotsam and jetsam. Look at this. This is very cool. Fortunately, don't be surprised if you see something from Borg show up, because all of that stuff's completely compatible with this. Oh boy, there's some nasty stuff in Borg. Okay, this is actually a lighter in tone version of one. Basically, you tell me, who's the captain again? Who did we designate as the captain?
I'll captain.
Before.
I designate miss list.
All right, so basically, wind going. No real adverse conditions right now. As you all know, this can change at any time. So you tell me, are you intending to go full speed?
I'd say 3/4 ish.
Okay.
If we go
Okay.
full speed,
I
I don't know how good this dinghy is.
guess what we're gonna do. I'll just have you roll to stay on course. Oh, because I have.
Hey,
This is what I was using, but I kind of like this
you
better.
want a cute? You want a cute little dinghy?
Well, mine has a sail, but it looks more like a raft.
Oh, you can use that one as the token on the board, and then we could use this one that we can our tokens can
Okay.
hang out in isometrically.
All right, cool. All right. All right, so basically on the map in Roll20, just show me where you want to go exactly. And the skies are pretty clear. And Robin, maybe you can help me on this one. On a clear day, if you're on a ship out at sea, how far in the distance can you usually see reliably? If there was land, ahead.
We would be able to see probably about 1 hex from the height of a dinghy. Yeah.
This is why I asked you. Exactly.
Yeah, naval ships see a long way because they have a mast,
Right.
a very
right.
tall mast.
Yeah,
there was
right,
a reason
right,
why
right.
they send
fair.
people all the way up
Fair.
to.
Up to the crow's nest. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So, yeah.
Good answer. That's what I was looking for, and that actually complicates things, and I love it. Okay. All right.
I
So
vote let's
you
aim
know.
for the center of the island so we can't miss it.
Well,
I was gonna aim
roughly,
more
it's a
about
big
here,
island.
but I mean it's a nice long island,
Okay.
so we shouldn't.
It is.
Miss.
It really is. And as far as what you know or don't know about this island, I'll tell you. I hate to keep rolling presents, but and I guess we want to roll. Bill, we want to roll under, right? When
Yeah.
we do a check.
Well, no,
Um,
you just want to hit the number or go above.
Oh, right. Okay. As you can tell, anyone who's watching, we're still, at least I am still partially learning the system. So let's.
I rolled a
roll
3,
what?
so actually it is roll under. Never mind.
What
Roll a 3 on a d20, which is bad. So I'm adding my presence, which is a 0, and
Still
I'm
a
trying to
3.
hit the target number, which is almost always 12.
In this case, it's going to be that your craft is not really the best,
Cool.
for going across.
Well,
So what do
before
we
the
got?
modifiers.
We
Before the
have a
modifiers.
17 and a 16.
The 16.
You guys
So,
say
yeah,
what?
just ignore the 16. The
You're basically able to stay on course. And go ahead and I didn't give anybody the ability to move this raft. I probably should have. So why don't you ping the hex that you want to?
yeah.
So we're gonna go
Move it.
1 hex at a time.
Yes.
So you're able to you're confident that you're on the right course currently. Like I said, you couldn't wish for better weather, right? Fades behind you a bit, and you find yourself in, it's not, I mean, I guess open ocean, not really open ocean, but you're in a
Openish.
I mean, we do still
archipelago.
have this. We still have the position of the sun.
Why don't?
Oh, Juan Connery was apparently a very, very sailory.
Yeah.
If I
Well,
recall correctly.
again, all of you
Well,
really
no,
are.
I mean he was especially, if I recall correctly from our previous play session.
All right, so let's. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
yeah.
Now, so that's a 2.
It's a 2.
All right, and I'll take your roll for the second roll. I was going to ask for another roll, and you beat me to it. Okay, so yeah, as you're making your way along and not having too much difficulty doing so, you spot off to off the bow, a single shark fin cut through the surface of the water. Just curiously circling your dinghy at this point. It looks like a fairly large shark, probably about the size of the one. No, it's a big ocean, but it could be the same one, yeah.
He's got a taste for zealot.
It's definitely circling you with a curiosity for now. What do you do?
Push on.
Are any of us in the water?
You're able to see the water's fairly clear. You're able to see the silhouette of this thing. It looks like it's probably a good 16 feet long. So we're talking about a big boy. See, how big is the dinghy? I know it says in here, actually. I thought it did anyway.
It's enough for about 4 people. So 10 feet.
Yeah.
16 foot.
Then, so you continue along. So go ahead and make me another presence roll. I guess I'll let everyone do this. And we're
To the Dark Lord
okay.
that this is a creature of God and not of
It's definitely a creature of God.
not of the devil.
But which God?
Yeah.
All right.
Poseidon.
Those are some shit rolls. So move on to this hex. Is that the idea?
Yes. And
Keep heading southeast as fast
Okay.
as we can.
All right. The shark continues to track you, basically, until eventually there are no less than 5 shark fins, and it's like a curious school of sharks. Now, the largest of them is the 16-footer. The others are just a little smaller.
This would not be a problem, but we're in a world that's got undead now and
Yeah.
all kinds of horrible other shit.
Shark then bumps the boat with its nose, like kind of testing it, kind of in curiosity. Okay, so you should know it's broad daylight right now.
yeah, but I mean it's
Not that that necessarily
yeah.
matters.
if I can cast a extremely bright light down into the water, might
Like on the hull of the boat.
basically
Okay.
So-
And beyond that, what does it do? Let me see.
Uh,
That's under the glass,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, enemies
under
that see it
zealot.
are at -2 DR to defend against. I mean, they're sharks, so I wanted to see it, and it's going to last for 50
Yeah.
minutes. A bright light might spook them. They're not
Yeah,
the smartest
it might.
of critters,
No, they're not.
especially if they just bump the boat and all of a sudden, psh, bright light, whoo, scuttle.
Yeah. Okay. So they actually do. They actually begin to submerge and move.
Look like
So, I
seals.
mean, they definitely.
Yeah,
So they're
some
basically
sea
like,
likes bright shiny things.
well, but this is like a blinding light.
Yeah.
It's not a pleasant.
Yeah.
It's not like a shine. It's not like something flashy in the water, like a lure or something like that.
Can I do something
Yeah,
at
they
the same
like-
time? I was thinking about booping the shark back with a healing touch.
Okay.
And maybe
You're
if he
healing
has
the
any
shark?
yeah, I mean sharks get a lot of scars over the years, right? So
Oh
maybe
yeah, and it's gonna be like
just-
the abominable
Could
snowman.
you cast the opposite of that, a damaging touch?
I'm gonna kill him with kindness and I'm just gonna say so or maybe I don't actually know how that spell works against undead because I haven't tried it.
Could be.
But I'm gonna
I mean, I
give
think
him a
they
little boop. I'm gonna go
Kind
boop.
of leave it up in the air.
Yeah, it just says
He booped us, so I'm gonna boop him. I'm gonna counter his boop with a boop.
Boopity boop, boop,
Okay.
boop.
All right.
Sounds like
Heal thyself. You're using heal, right?
Uh-huh.
So that one particular shark that booped the boat, which is the largest one, it actually pauses for a moment, and like you see that it is covered with a number of scars. You see a couple of the scars kind of smooth over, and it stops for a minute. And if a shark could look confused, this one does.
Yes.
They don't have much in the way of expression or expressive faces, but black eyes like a doll's
Like a
eyes.
doll's
Yeah.
eyes.
I love that speech. Oh my god. But anyway, so that happens. The slowly submerges into the water, following the others by after a period of probably a couple of minutes. The others have already gone, but
He
this one
slips
just kind of
away
hangs
into the
around.
night.
I'm gonna
Into the deep.
I'm gonna name him.
Into the deep, down into Davy Jones' locker. Yeah. Okay. All right. Enough of that. Okay. So yeah, that happens. And the thing with cast unlimited
Until you fail.
Well, most
yes.
of them don't even
Okay.
have,
Thou
like...
may. Okay. Here it is. Thou may use prayers. D2 plus spirit times a day.
Yeah.
Reroll. Yeah. And Bill, you did that. I'm assuming, right?
I don't even know if I. Hey, here we go. I have 3
Yeah.
left, and I have 2 left.
Yeah.
Boop.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. And yeah, so you're able to. Did I already move? I already moved you to the next hex.
Yep.
Okay. Why don't we? God, these are some shit
Why
rolls.
did you roll a
we're
D-
rolling.
I did it.
D4?
I
Trying
was
to
rolling
go.
for no, I was rolling for my rituals for the day.
Oh. Okay.
I realized
Oh.
that spot was blank.
All right. Give me another. Somebody, give me another D6 roll.
There you go.
It's a 2. Okay.
The stream is like spooling for some reason.
It
just
is.
started again.
Yeah.
It does that all the
it's
time.
hurting.
Yeah, it does that.
I don't know what it is. On just
Does
random
that to me
days,
too.
I will have horrible network.
Yeah.
Yeah. It.
Even on my phone, network is kind of just. Meh.
Yeah. No. Twitch has always been. You can't tell if it's a dolphin or a porpoise, like a bottlenose dolphin, maybe. Breach is the surface and does one of those nice leaps like they do, right to the side of your boat, and and it makes that sound like flipper, and dives into the water.
Especially after a bunch of sharks.
Especially this has been, I would say, about a half hour since you've seen the sharks. Of course, they could still be down there, but it's a solitary dolphin, which is strange because usually they're found in in large
Pods.
like shoals or pods, if you want to call them. But the one, and it seems quite curious, and you all know that dolphins are generally a good thing, not a bad thing. But
My first love.
you know that dolphins don't generally attack. But again, this is the dark Caribbean, so anything's possible. So what do you do?
I'm just gonna squeak.
Because it appears. All right. Yeah. It even slows down. It'll occasionally pop its head up from the water and
Now I sound like Mars Attacks.
ack. Yeah.
It's...
That shark seemed like a jack to me. What do you guys think?
Say it again.
We're trying to name the
But
critters
that's-
as we go.
Yeah. I mean, don't you?
Oh, okay. Okay, fair enough. Sure, why not?
Yeah, we're doing like road trip games as we.
There.
Presents.
Yeah, so far the weather has not changed. That's just enough, actually.
Please don't hit me,
Like
Mr.
I said,
Dolphin.
I lowered the DR.
Sweet.
And it surfaces one final time. Its head out of the water and looks at you, and before your eyes, it transforms
Whoa.
into, and she looks at you, puts her arms up on the side of the boat, like she kind of folds her arms over the side of the boat, and looks at you with a curious expression. Just kind of she's oh, hello, and
thanks for all the fish.
She looks puzzled at that, but her features, aside from mermaid type features, but I actually have a token here. Hold on 1 second.
So she's a token mermaid?
Her features, she's the token mermaid. Yes, oh, that's terrible. Especially especially with some more context. Right. So here's it.
I don't know. I've been a sailor for a while.
Oh, she doesn't seem like a token mermaid at all.
And she looks up at you and says, "I am Naira of the Coral Palace."
Oh.
So it's like from the what do you call it? From the elbow down, one of her arms, the rest of her arm is missing.
Was the dolphin just a flipper?
Seems like the only thing that really makes sense.
Not that I did.
You don't actually recall. Yeah, you don't. Not that you noticed. Yeah, it just looked like a dolphin to you. Maybe somebody else noticed.
I was too busy.
Everybody else, go ahead.
Dolphin noises.
You can go ahead and make rolls. Everyone else. Nobody noticed.
She's talking inside a foreign language.
No, she's
an odd accent.
She's speaking English. It's just an odd accent. And furthermore, those of you that know a little bit about, well, I guess I'm not sure who might know. So her features recall to you. You recall descriptions of the native people who once lived in these lands and who disappeared decades, if not centuries before, as a result of the undead plague, presumably, but also those pesky European colonists, for the most part, vanished.
I'm going to ask if a shark got her arm.
How perceptive of you. As a matter of fact, she says, yes, it was most unfortunate indeed. But that is not important. What is important is that you are here because I dreamed you would come. Hoist herself up onto the dinghy, which is kind of difficult for her to do.
Oh yeah,
just the one arm.
I'll help her up.
Yeah,
she'll accept a hand if you
give
do
some
that.
Assistance.
We struggle to be the first person to help her.
Out of the dinghy and kind of sits on the edge with her tail hanging into the water. And
grab the fish end here.
Just pull her in. She says you're
on the island one.
Might I know why?
Closest place to
Really though, is it? I think Rum K would be closer. But at this point,
it was a toss-up as to which one was closer.
I see. But my dream...
Oh.
Oh.
I'm going to find a curse. I don't want to find a curse.
Perhaps you might bring...
They're cursed.
She looks a little bit sad at this and says, it matters not. It was decades these days.
Well, if it's been,
she's being pretty cryptic, yeah.
If it's been 100 years, they've had plenty of time to move on.
Wait, but how old are
you? I'm sorry.
Misfit blurts out the beginning of a sentence and then stops talking.
You're foreigners, descendants of the invaders. But perhaps I am wrong, but I sense, I won't say good, but I sense you
of the past. But we do follow a code of ethics.
A code, more like guidelines. Right. Okay, God, I'm sorry.
Well, there's the pirate code, but then there's also the book.
Right. Help me. I'm looking for something in the book right now. No, page 262 because it doesn't exist. All right, hold on. There's not that many pages in the book. All right, hold on.
That's the thing is you gotta have fun and reference the pages that aren't in your book.
Before your eyes, and apparently with no qualms about it, she pulls 3 scales rather, from her body, from her fish I guess not torso. You might need these. And she gives each one of you a mermaid scale.
The backup characters are like,
hey, what about us? Yeah, she's ignoring the 3 nondescript backup characters.
They don't need rations until they come into play.
No, you may have need of these where you're going.
It's a rule of 3. It's a narrative.
Yeah, exactly. Rule of 3, like a head of it.
Yeah, would that be a 4 scale?
Yeah. Well, her scale is her skin, so she handing out 4 skin.
No. That
mermaids. So it's literally an item on the relics table called a mermaid scale, and each of you have one now.
Well, thank you. I don't know what it does, but thank you.
She says, well, that's simple. It will allow you to breathe underwater for a period of time, like me.
That could be very handy.
Indeed.
Eat a scale, breathe underwater for D4 hours. These before we got to the shore. Like, can you help us get to the shore? Is this like foreshadowing that you're gonna sink our boat?
I wouldn't dream of such a thing. My people, I can't speak for all of us, but I find you surface dwellers a curiosity and something to be studied rather than attacked. Not all of my people for other things.
That would be appreciated.
It wasn't me, it was the one-armed mermaid.
She says, I can see you safely to shore.
That'd be awesome.
Thank you.
So,
thanks for giving us a hand.
Johnny gives him the green light. Misfit seems a little disappointed that he doesn't have any competition, but yeah.
All right.
Misfit leans into it and says, "So you said that we're the men of your dreams. Were any of your faces in your dream in particular?"
She kind of raises an eyebrow and says, "A prophecy, more like. I don't think the dream you are thinking of applies here."
And I say, tell me more about your people and your culture.
Well, since we have a little bit of time, and she'll dive back into the water. She'll just kind of drop back into the water.
And how do you keep that shell bikini on?
I didn't say she was wearing a shell bikini.
Oh my.
Because that actually wouldn't make any sense, would it? Right? So, especially since, I mean, yeah, that you probably would have noticed instead of the you'd be like, why is this dolphin wearing? Yeah, when the dolphin doesn't even have breasts. So, yeah. So anyway, she drops back down into the water and she'll say, "What do you wish to know?"
Cat.
What do you?
I got a little distracted there.
Oh.
Misfit asks, "You seem to know the speech of our people, and yet you
Yes.
Are
maybe a native
hobby,
to these waters,
if you will, to learn as much about you as I can. By you, I collectively mean I hate to call you invaders because you are not government.
I'm speaking the language. We speak the language of the colonizers. I'm not afraid to admit that.
You are not a part of.
No, we are emancipated.
Differentiate pirates from, like, you're the Spanish Navy or the British Navy or whatever.
Have you heard the English word abolitionist before?
She does. She shakes her head and has no idea.
Anti-slavery English people who are less jerky.
She doesn't seem to understand the concept of slavery.
But I'm here to save people and free people from bondage, metaphorical and otherwise.
She'll tell you that before the coming of the foreigners, the islands were once inhabited by other peoples, and that the ruins that you will find represent the height of their civilization in some strength. But the undead, which now plague the surface, have made things difficult for everyone. And she says that's the understatement, as an understatement, really. And she says it's not much better below the surface either.
You have dead down there too?
Yes, and she'll tell you about rifts and portals she'll just say other worlds. And things come through these portals, and she'll talk of entire mermaid or merfolk, I guess, cities,
right?
Or far worse.
She says I wouldn't go within miles of one of those portals. We call them blue holes, or
blue holes. Oh yeah, I guess you're underwater.
Yeah.
We call them black holes up here.
Yeah, well, she says you get the again with the calm weather, and you can now see the heavily forested shores or jungled shores of the island of Yuma stretching out before you, and you're within sight of a thin stretch of beach. And this was once a stronghold of the Mazoan people, who, like I said, it's been, and she'll tell you it's been a century or more. She feels that, she says she'll warn you that the southern part of the island is overrun with the undead, and it's quite hazardous to venture there. And she says that for the most part it's safe, but when I say safe, I mean only in comparison to the rest of it. There was a settlement, I believe, outcasts, marauders like your.
Would you be able to mark it on our map? And I pull out my ink and parchment, because we have an actual map.
Yeah, she'll take a look at it and
pay no attention to the decks.
Right, and she will. Oops.
Not our I'm not going to show her the treasure map. No.
I don't know if I posted this in Discord or not, but let me do that, because you do have an actual map.
Yeah, we had the captain's map that we were trying to find, and then that other sailor had a.
Right. Okay. Can you see that? So so there's Rum K up there, just above the compass rose. And as you can see, it coincides almost exactly to the hex
map in my journal is even more crude than the map in Discord.
Sure. She says that the settlement used to lay on the, remind me, windward and leeward side of an island. If I were to say windward and leeward, I guess I'll just use regular compass directions just so that I don't confuse myself.
Those mean 0 to me.
And right. they're also based on weather conditions.
Correct. Yeah. But
on a long island like Yuma, probably. On the peninsula here in Washington State,
could be, but I know like the island of Oahu, for example. I believe like Diamond Head is on the leeward side.
Yes.
She'll say that the settlement was there, and there used to be. She said there were ships that used to pull into port there, but it's been years, probably about a decade, that it's been abandoned now. And she'll say that the ruins, there are some sea caves to the far north. Well, not that far from where you are actually right now, in the northern tip of the island, as well as some
basically.
And then she says I haven't, she says there are other ruins and various points of interest, but as I don't typically go far onto the beach, it's a place I avoid. But you get the idea that she's just genuinely curious about, so-called surface dwellers, that she just wants to, she's gathering as much information as she can. I did give you her name earlier, didn't I? Yeah. Did I not?
Yes, it's Naira.
Naira. Coral Palace. I wish you luck, and may we meet again.
Luck?
And she'll, unless you want to say anything else to you.
Yeah, I've got one question. Is there a chance you could grab us some fish?
Could I grab you some fish?
Yeah, we're preciously low on supplies.
As you basically beach the dinghy on the shore somewhere over here. I don't know. I guess this hex or this hex. You beach the dinghy that covers the entire island. And she'll return within probably 20 minutes with enough fish to feed you for the day.
Sweet. Thank
All right.
you.
And you notice she did, like, as she takes off into the water, she shifts back into the form of the dolphin.
Something ideally suited for catching fish.
Mm-hmm, exactly. And she's also able to grasp them in her mouth without actually crushing them or really. This is actual creature from South American mythology called an encanto, by the way.
Oh, nice.
The shape-shifting dolphin or porpoise. But anyway.
I'm gonna offer her a trade for the fish.
Oh, she says, "Oh, what do you have?" She
You want
seems very...
thingamabogs? I got 20.
God.
God, please no. She says, "Do you have any who's-its or what's-its?"
I had
Galore.
I had to. I had
Galore.
to. I'm sorry, Naira.
She says, "What about who's-its?" She says, I know this. This is a dinglehopper.
Yep.
I'm gonna stop now.
Yep.
Now, I'm gonna burst out into song here in a minute. I really don't want that. All right.
Nope.
Especially not with my throat the way it is, and the fact
Okay.
that I'm not Leah Salonga, whoever the hell originally sang that song. All right.
No. We'll have it
what's-
sing along.
What's that?
More of a
All right,
cuddle.
it's one of my favorite Disney movies, along with like Aladdin. Of all time.
It's set during the golden age of piracy, so how could you not like it?
I mean, it is. Yeah. It's right up there with The Lion King, Aladdin. So that's neither here nor there. But here we are. We're on the beach. So you've got basically, Robin, this is going to sound very familiar to you. Thin strip of beach, bordered by jungle, impassable looking jungle.
Oh no.
Does anybody have a machete? Because I do not.
Ooh, I do.
I've got a rapier.
Oh, nice.
He actually does. Yeah.
Bro. Okay, I think we may be in business. As long as your machete stays intact, we should be good.
So
Kind of come around because you said there was a settlement over here. So might be smarter for us.
The settlement.
Yeah, she said the settlement, what's left of it anyways, down here. And then up here there was some sort of, she described it as ruins and she said sea caves and then
and like maybe a boat or something.
The old
let's try and scavenge the settlement.
Yeah.
Can someone put that down on the map, because I didn't see the ping when you pinged it?
It was down here somewhere.
It's
okay.
That. I mean, we can go during daylight.
Mark that there.
How much day do we have?
Daylight.
So I would say you set up pretty early in the morning. I would say it's around probably noonish.
Okay.
Does that sound reasonable? 6 hours? Do you think that would be?
Yeah. At 4 to 6 knots.
Yeah, something
So
like that.
Probably with variations and everything. Yeah, probably about that.
Okay.
Probably about noon.
I'm good with it. So yeah, you still got plenty of daylight left, but you do know, being the Caribbean, being on the equator, when the sun sets, it sets quickly. Like, it's daytime and then it's nighttime. You know. So there's
go early though either. So
as far as let's see. So you hear, and you can hear from the jungle, the sound of, it sounds like thousands of birds and insects. Like the jungle is teeming with life. It sounds like.
It sounds like
judging
dinner.
from all the. It does, yeah. Frankly, probably. But you're eating fish, so you got that for now. But there's no trace of any undead that you can see.
Do we want to at least, stay here and set up a camp, and then head out tomorrow?
Well, here where?
You still have,
At the
I
settlement?
would say about 6 hours of daylight.
Yeah, so we're around about here. So if it took us 6 hours to get across here,
I'm gonna go ahead.
We're not going to make it all the way to the settlement
before dark.
We could make it to the sea caves. I know that Misfit was trying to get to the mermaid sea cave, but we could get to these sea caves.
Heyo.
Nobody asked her about the Coral Palace. I thought that was interesting, but anyway, that's fine.
Well, the Misfit was trying to get to her Coral Palace.
I was learning more and more.
Yeah. All right.
We were sharing information back and forth.
We'll say talks about this Coral Palace and brought it up a little casually, and she may actually be royalty among her people. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Go figure. Her name's not Ariel, Naira, but anyway.
Yeah. Well,
all right.
Do we want to?
Either way, she's fascinating. I'm here to collect tall tales, and she's literally a.
You can actually.
We'll be here all week.
My Twitch is frozen now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna actually refresh it here.
Oh, we got copyright struck by Disney.
Oh, that was it. So for people that don't know, one of the
we're
options
putting out a better Little Mermaid than they did.
Oh.
Ooh, zing! Yeah. Well, I don't know. I haven't seen it, so I can't completely say. But
Can't speak.
it's my train of thought. It'll come to me.
Something about Disney musicals.
No, it wasn't. It was something else. But it doesn't matter at this point. So anyway, it'll come to me later. Oh no, mermaids. So one of the actual options. So when you create a character in Pirate Borg, you roll a D8. Well, you roll a D6 or a D8. But if you roll a 7, you get a tall tale, and one of the and then you roll on a subtable.
Yeah.
And it's not as restrictive as it sounds because they can make their tail turn into human legs. They just have to, I think every 24 hours they have to submerge themselves or else they start suffering.
They turn into foam.
Yeah, there you go. They turn into foam like the original. Yep. Other tall tales, you can be a sentient animal like a chicken or a jaguar.
Incidentally, I don't think
tall tales or the haunted ones, right?
Right.
It does the D6. It doesn't do wackadoodle times.
Right.
But you can just add wackadoodle times as a template to any
Yeah.
character. So if you want to do wackadoodle
Also
times,
true.
just add it as a template to your randomly generated character.
Yeah, I like it personally. I'm a fan. But in any case, you're on this beach. You got about 6 hours of daylight at this point. You've got a supply of food in the form of the fish that she just brought you.
So do we want to stay here? Do we want to go to the caves? And that we should have a couple hours daylight. We can make a small camp, eat, and that gives us a place to jump off for tomorrow morning.
we should definitely also try and find some water.
And I will say that the
coconuts.
like the jungle, as you look into the jungle, you can see that it's mostly, you can see some banana trees, mangrove, some scrubby kind of forest,
Nice.
possibly some pineapple. Brightly colored yellow butterflies are in evidence. All feathers, like probably colorful parrots and that sort of thing.
Let's put it up to a vote. Do we want to stay here? Or do we want to go to the caves?
I say we get up a good stash of survival right now.
Okay.
I mean, if we go to the caves without establishing that, we get hurt in the caves, we're done.
Well, I mean, my idea was basically just get to the caves and set up camp there.
Well, we can do that. I mean, we got enough time to do that.
It wasn't
I
to
mean,
go into the caves. We can do that tomorrow. Or we can
Agree
ignore
with
those.
Captain.
This is where her cursed ghosts of her people are hanging out. Do we want to be that close?
I don't think that's what she said. She said there's a monument in sea caves there.
She mentioned ruins of the Mazoan civilization.
Oh.
And that her
The
cursed
Mazoan is kind of a blanket term for
spirits of her ancestors prowling
right.
around.
So there's some connection, like even between her people, like you could call it a weird dolphin, but they're actually called encantos. It's a legit South American, well, not a legit, it's a myth, but talking about weir porpoises last time.
It could be.
Somebody
Sounds
brought
like
up weir porpoises,
Sounds
and
like
I was
some
just
guy
like,
there.
yeah, we're gonna completely have a weir porpoise or a weir dolphin.
Yeah.
'Cause it's an actual thing that exists in folklore. So
I'm here for it.
Yeah, it's just a mermaid, and so I decided why not make her an Encanto, because I think that's cool, and it's part of the lore of the native lore of the area. So
We'll have to get
But
fish tacos later.
Fish
Yeah.
tacos.
actually, that sounds really, really good.
I can't hear that and not think of Hell's Kitchen.
Shelter in the caves, and it'll be easier to build a survival. It'll be easier to build a shelter inside a cave.
Okay.
Why don't we just
I
for
agree
fun?
with you that we should build a shelter, but it'll be easier to do so when we get up to the north.
All right. So how are you going to secure your dinghy?
Well, we're gonna float.
We're surf again, and
Yeah. So that's
we
the
aren't
thing.
getting
You've got to get
beat to death through the surf the whole way.
right.
Yeah. That's fine.
Give me
it'll be way faster than us walking there.
Give me a
And dragging a boat.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna make you roll, but I'm gonna do this. So when you get to about here-ish, right? Give me another roll on the weather table. Somebody roll 2d6.
Ah, crap.
Okay, so as it's to beat down oppressively, the cloud, any cloud cover there was, clears away. It's like burned away by this sweltering. They describe it as a hellfire sunlight, to the point where you're looking at the jungle longingly because you're starting to sweat at this point as you're sweltering out there on the sun. Yeah, you're you're basically rowing. I would guess on a dinghy there's probably, it is faster than walking, but you're rapidly, like, I don't know what water you have with you. I do remember you found a barrel of water on Conception Island.
Yeah, we had some. We had like a couple days.
And a very real, I guess, I'm assuming you have head coverings and that sort of thing, but it's the sun's oppressive to a dangerous extent.
I hate to ask this, but should we be making like a toughness rolls against damage or anything like that?
Not just yet.
All right.
Oh no, the idea was already there. I love these tables though, by the way.
I'm gonna try and fashion like an umbrella out of like scraps.
What kind of scraps are we
Flotsam.
That you're able, like I said, you're able to make a rudimentary kind of a, I wouldn't call it an umbrella, that'd be too generous, but
okay.
A handheld lean-to. Quite. The sail at this moment is doing nothing for you, so. All right. So yeah, you make your way, and eventually, as the sun begins to see, as you round, so the beach over here, the kind of maybe not disturbing thing, but the beach begins to give way to sea cliffs around this point. Okay, and hold on one second, and you look up at the highest point right here, like kind of like a headland that overlooks the Caribbean. The map that you have, Mr. Evil.
Yes.
It looks almost like you look at, I don't know, maybe in your mind's eye you look at that map and it bears a remarkable resemblance to the map that you have.
Landmark.
Yeah.
Yes. Definitely a good place to break camp.
Why don't we have everybody can make a...
It's
no, for this it's
religious landmark. Oh, I don't know what we're actually rolling
actually,
for.
Okay. But look, for now, presents. We got a 15, an 11,
and a 10.
And a 10. So Misfit, so everybody else is kind of looking up at Misfit. You spy the opening of, it looks like several sea caves just at the base of the cliff, and you can see the tide, going into these caves. Some of them are just barely above the water line, while some of them it looks like you could actually sail the dinghy into the cave if you wanted to.
Could be a good place to hide the dinghy.
I'm gonna say, look, mate, it's a perfect.
If we all want to take 5 minutes, that's fine.
Now would be
now's
a good
probably
time.
as good a time as any.
Yeah, it's actually a good time.
Yeah, dramatically, it's a good time too. We sail into the void.
So you're basically finding the most hospitable or largest looking one of the caves, and
oh, what's that line from Star Wars? That
okay.
Oh, that one will do nicely. That's the line.
All right, yeah. We'll get to this next part in a minute, but I have a little bit more information on these caves.
5 or 10 minute break.
Yeah, let's do. Yeah,
Cool.
however much time you need.
Sounds good.
I'm good